Hello, Stanley
You know, because I wanted to put him down here, basically, right? And with that example,
just to say, it doesn't run amazingly well, so there'll be times when, like now, when it won't be particularly good, it won't be responding either. Let's just click loading really, and there'll be times where the audio will go really weird, and you'll hear everything about 5 times. And that honestly confuses the hell out of me. So have fun with that. Next, it's not responding. Oh, it's weird. Oh. 2 seconds. That's a great start. There you go, I weren't really paying attention, and it came back on without me even seeing. What the fuck is that? That is one big spider crawling down my wall. Right, danger has not been averted. I have no clue where the spider actually is. And
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what to do there.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm not going to talk over whenever your life will be versus talking over. I'm not going to say anything.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I see that spider,
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
That's just not very nice, is it?
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
This is weird.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
The hell?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No, that's creepy.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh. I'll get off you. Okay then. You've told me straight.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? I don't...
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
What?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
A queue?
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Wow.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
I'm basically being told what's happening in this whole thing. The fuck? I've never done this bit before, this is weird as hell.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
That's cute. No, can I press it? No, I press it. Is it 0 then?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Oh.
And Stanley
Wow.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. and I
Okay. What just happened? Nope, did not understand any of that. That was just weird as fuck. Is this just the... Just start again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'll do the actual thing I'm supposed to do now. I don't think the same way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Talking. Take it. Reach cover and supply you more. Lift it all inside you. Take it out. Fuck off. Stop changing. Use your size to ensure employees that everything is okay. Use your size as a slow graphic in your head. Text. This one is your count. Everyone is human. You most of all. That's a bit weird. You know what you say. These are people right in the world. What do people want? Things, money, more money. Things, with money to buy more things. Graphs about things this money. We have a good product. That's supposed to be very famous. We need reviews. That's so weird. Oh. To do. Some guys call value expenditures. Shift global market. Yeah. Monetize. Multiply. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
No, keep it as password. Sorry, I'm talking to people about the Spider Institute, which is scanning for life, because I don't know where it is. So yeah, we've got some random games to be done. Because I mean, I've just re-downloaded all my games back on. So I've got quite a few that I could possibly do videos on. So it's loading, I have to do something else. As you can see, I've already done that thing. So yeah, you can do them on quite a few different things. So yeah, that'll be fun. Let's not talk about that. Still not loaded. Oh god, I have to blow on those nails. There you go, my other arrows on these ones, but this one's just awful. But there you go. Borderlands 2's not even played. That's how cool I am. The funny stuff, I have brains, piss me off. I couldn't even go into that. I sat up and think 4 hours. I wouldn't sit there, just waited for it. Like, not doing anything. If I can get that to work, that's big. Final Fantasy 7 would be a game that I'd like to do a playthrough. Anyway,
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
oh, yeah. Very much I am. Listen, talks to him. I can't do a contract.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh well, we'll do it, tells me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, sure, it's in the power engine. That's that.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Ah, there it is.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I like how it's all about that. It's all about mind control facility. It's about mind control. I'm doing what someone else is telling me to do.
But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source of the
Something will eventually happen, it's just darkness for ages. But I'm moving it to the voice of the random person. And
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
it says that the end is never the end, that's because it goes right back to the beginning. So that is literally the Stanley Parable all the way through. And just a random one at the beginning that was really weird and creepy, and I don't ever really want to do that again. Don't really do mannequins. Supernatural episode, really put enough mannequins. Actually, so did that Doctor episode. So did that creepypasta. A lot of things put in for mannequins. Why do they always choose creepy things? It's a bit creepy. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll try and be more consistent with videos. See you later.